literally like the next day, I'm like leaving my roach infested apartment in North Hollywood, and I'm being chased by paparazzi and peeing in Kim Kardashian's bathroom. Like, it's just like two worlds, you know?
Time of death, 9:32 a.m. Today is March 13th, 2025.
Not gonna make it. Not gonna make it out. Smeared on the pavement. Not gonna make it.
It's hard.
I'm just kidding. Welcome to my channel, guys. Where do I begin? That is the question, because yeah, I think we're gonna start. 1, I'm so awkward. 2, this is all new to me. So, welcome to my channel. I have no idea how this works, what I'm doing. And that's crazy because I've worked in Hollywood for most of my life. I'm taking a really big step in doing this video. I've been through a lot. I'm tired. I'm beaten down. Okay, I've been in court this morning. I'm kidding. I'm so awkward. Hello, and welcome to my channel, where I'm going to tell you all the ins and outs of what it's like to work in Hollywood. I feel like we're going to work out the kinks together. I think we're all just going to be awkward, and the lighting's going to be weird. I'm going to mess up the camera, and it's all going to be fine. So how did I get started in the entertainment industry when I grew up in a small town in Oregon with basically no connections, seemingly? I wanted to start this channel because I've always been a fan of YouTube. And I started getting in and around the entertainment industry when I was 14. I guess we should start at the beginning. So when I was growing up, I just had this feeling that like I was just always connected to Hollywood and media and music, and I just wanted to be a part of that world. I was also obsessed with like back in the day when YouTube was, you know, first on the scene. Like movies would post like their behind the scenes, like on DVDs and stuff, they'd be like behind the scenes. And I was obsessed with watching them make a movie. Like I just thought the whole thing was so cool and like magic, and I just wanted to be a part of that. So when I was 14, I told my grandparents at the time, they're still my grandparents, but we don't speak. So I told them what I wanted to do, and that I wanted to get into the industry, and I wanted to be an actor, and I wanted to do it for real. They were like, okay, well, we'll reach out to anyone that we know to see if they could help or give advice or anything. And they lived near like Stanford. So in California, you know, definitely not in Oregon. So they probably had a better shot. So they knew a woman at their church her son was an executive at ABC, and he was producing Desperate Housewives, Ugly Betty, Brothers and Sisters, and another pilot with like Kelsey Grammer that didn't go through. And so I got his email when I was 14, and I was like, hi, I emailed him myself. And I was like, hi, my name is Mason. Like, I really want to get into this industry. I'm serious, and I would love any advice that you have or anything. And so he wrote me back, and he was like, I will fly you out to LA and I will show you what it's all about. And I was like, what? Okay, cool. I was like, okay, I need to watch these shows that you make. Like, I don't know what these shows are. Like, so the big show was Desperate Housewives. And so I was like, okay, I gotta watch this. I can't show up to set and not knowing what the hell these shows are. A few months went by, and I'm on a plane to LA and with my grandparents, and I was invited to the Universal backlot. We had lunch at this like restaurant on the backlot, and I'm like in this corner booth, and I look over and Terry Hatcher is eating with like the old guys from the TV show, the cast, and I'm like dying because at this point I'm a huge fan. Like I had watched the show, I was obsessed with it, like Ugly Betty, obsessed. And my life has been so weird. Like there have been so many weird things that have happened. Ugly Betty, the show, America Ferrera, when I was like growing up, America's younger brother, I think on the show, or nephew, was played by an actor, Mark Indelicato. And he was like, I think one of the first like openly gay characters on TV. Like we were like the same age. And so like I had the biggest crush on him. He was like my first on-screen crush for sure. Like I was obsessed with him. I would like dress like him. He like inspired my fashion and I wanted to meet him. Went to LA and I met up with the producer. I was like, I want to meet Mark Indelicato. And he's like, you got to go to New York. I was like, damn. What was funny is years later, when I moved to LA and I went to a performing arts college, one of my friends that I met, her name was Tony. And so Tony is this beautiful, gorgeous, funny, like she's an incredible girl, right? Tony, I was like, this girl's so familiar. I mean, she looks like Mila Kunis, like she's beautiful, gorgeous girl. But I was like, she looks familiar. So familiar. Like I could not get this feeling that she was so familiar. And then it was her birthday and she was like, hey, come to my birthday dinner. And so I went. And then I realized when I went to go look at her photos that she's Mark Indelicato's best friend. Like, what? So then she invites me to her birthday dinner and I show up there and Mark is there. And I'm like, what is life? Like, what is life? So I end up having dinner across from Mark Indelicato, my first on-screen crush. And I might have been like, hey, is he like single? And he wasn't. And now he's married and it's all good. I'm MasonCoe. Welcome to my Hollywood adjacent series where I bring you behind the scenes on television shows, movies that I've worked on, the stories behind them. Okay, the lighting changed up. We're working on it. It is what it is. First of all, I look a mess. I don't know what's going on with my hair. I'm tired because I had court this morning. That's a whole other story. I'm so nervous to be doing this. I've gone through a lot in the past couple of years, and that's something that I definitely want to talk about. I'm still in like the throes of it. Sounds so ominous, but oops. Okay, so when I was younger and I was like, made the decision, like, I'm going after this, and was immediately met with like, okay, like I'm on the back lot of Universal, like I'm meeting the writers of Desperate Housewives. I'm like going up in the Desperate Housewives golf cart to the set, and the producer's like, when the tourist cart comes, like just wave at them and they will think that you're like somebody famous and it'll be so fun. And I was like, what? And so then I was like, I don't want to do that. And then the trolleys come by and he's like, wave. And I was like, so I waved to them and they all freaked out like I was some big deal. And that was just really special. That was really fun. And kind of just like a foreshadow to a lot of experiences in my life. I'm on the Universal backlot. I'm meeting Terry Hatcher, eating lunch next to her. The next day I go to set on Brothers and Sisters and I got to meet Sally Field and I got to stay on set and like watch her act and be like right next to her, which was crazy. And I was just like on the Disney backlot being like, this is possible. I feel like when you make a decision to do something and it's the right, like aligned decision, that the universe will like reward you with an opportunity or something to kind of like affirm that. And so for me, it was just like so affirming. I mean, like I wanted to work in this and I'm on the biggest show in the world set and like, okay. And so after that, I got into acting classes that were like 90 miles away from where I lived. And so I rearranged my school schedule, and I would leave school early on Mondays, and I would drive 90 miles south or north and take a 2-hour acting class, and then I would drive 2 hours back home. So this acting class that I joined was like this on-camera Meisner based acting class, and I joined like a month and a half before they were doing their like huge showcase in front of all of the like managers and agents. And so I had to like scramble to get material up to snuff. And so I did the showcase, and then I got 2 agents that were interested in me, and I was like 16. And so then I signed with an agent, and then I started auditioning, and then I booked my first TV show, like a co-starring role on a show called Portlandia with Fred Armisen and Carrie Brownstein, and I got to be co-stars with Chloe Sevigny, who played my roommate, and that was really fun. But it just kind of, at that point I was like, okay, like I'm in Portland, like I just booked this show, like I want to be doing this full time, all the time. Like I was in college getting like A's in my arts classes, acting classes, theater classes, but I was getting like C's and D's in my other classes. And so I knew a friend who I was in acting classes with in Portland, and she ended up going to this performing arts college in LA. And so I looked into it. They were doing a nationwide search. And so I did my audition, and I found out that I got in. I think I was in a movie theater, which was crazy. And the movie was a Michelle Williams movie, which is crazy because I ended up doing a movie with her that we'll end up watching in this series called Showing Up. That was really weird. Like I got the call in a movie theater, and that was just very surreal. I finished up my sophomore year at Portland State, and then I moved to LA. I had like a week off, and then I transferred to LA, and none of my credits transferred. So I had to do a 4-year program in like 2.5 years because I didn't want to graduate years after like my friends were graduating. After school, I was going through it, and I was having so many like body image issues and confidence issues, even though I had worked like my entire life to reach a point where I'm like ready to go and ready to conquer the world or whatever, conquer Hollywood.
I put on a show. You should know I'm a mess as my heart beats down my chest, and I'm always overstressed and overthinking leads me to drinking. I'm a mess.
I have a little dog that's, hello? 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 Hi. Can you relax? Do you want to go up, B? Okay. Oh, okay, let's go up. I can't wait to get better at this and not be so weird. I was working on all of these characters, okay? Like I was in a 4-year program, finished it in 2.5 years. And so I was working on all of these characters, which was amazing. It's what I wanted. Like I wanted to be completely immersed in my craft and what I was doing and around people that got it. But I was working on all these characters, but I wasn't working on my own character. Like I was avoiding myself and dealing with myself, which I'm currently still working through. You know, a lot of people, I think, relate to that. Anyways, I was just kind of in a rut because it wasn't feeling right for me to be like on camera. Even right now, I'm like, Urgh. And so I was on a flight to San Francisco, and I had never been on a plane where it was like first come, first serve seating. And so I board from the back. I see a woman sitting by herself, like the back of her. And so I was just like, I'm going to choose you. And so I go up to her, I look down, she's sitting in the window seat. She's wearing a NASA sweatshirt. I'm wearing a NASA hat. And I'm like, this is meant to be, out loud, like to her. So we sit down on the plane. I'm in the aisle seat. She's in the window seat. And the flight attendant gets on and she's like, hey, you guys, this flight is booked. Like, don't even think about it. Like, don't get comfortable. Like, it is overbooked. And we were like, oh, okay. And so the doors close to the plane and the plane's completely full except the seat in between us. Like, no one sat in that seat and they didn't fill it. And I was like, okay. So then we start talking and she worked on Keeping Up with the Kardashians. We would film with her and she'd get mad at their paparazzi. I'm like, we're in a public space. I mean, like, she was just...
I'm gonna make it. I'm not gonna make it up. Smeared on the pavement. I'm not gonna make it.
I'm feeling like I'm a trophy on the top shelf with nobody left to hold.